What is up, everybody? Welcome to First Fight View. This is episode 9, a very special episode 9, as you can see, because it is Frankie Edgar versus Pedro Munhoz. This literally just happened. It is the Monday after that Saturday where the fight took place. So this is the First Fight View for me because I missed it, because I had to go to some best friends' pre-wedding events, right? So some important things that had to be taken care of. MMA isn't number one all the time, right? But it should be. It should be, right? So we're going to catch up here. And what a better way than to do it for First Fight View, which, has taken a bit of a backseat since since MMA is going again. We don't have to go and watch old fights anymore, even though it is still very fun. But before we get into things here, I will pause and let the people who might be coming for the first time and don't understand exactly what First Fight View is. This is a scoring breakdown show, okay? I watched the fight for the very first time, score it as it's not happening, but, as I'm seeing it for the first time with the new rules and the old rules. Then we have 2 scorecards at the end, but then we also do the global rule set, which is scoring the fight as a whole rather than with rounds and all that fun stuff. So I'm saying that and getting it out of the way for people because I noticed throughout the series, the first 8 episodes, a lot of comments and, people commenting in their likes and dislikes. The ratios are pretty bad because I'm assuming that people think that, they were going to see the fights, which I wish I could show you guys on the screen as I was doing the show. But that's why I give you a little bit of a break. You can pull it up yourself, I can't do that. I'll get taken down. And I mean, I would if I could, you guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm not clickbaiting or anything. I'm not trying to do any of that business. So you got it all wrong. All right. These videos are not the fights themselves. These are me giving the scoring breakdown. So that is what we will be doing for this one as well, of course, because we got 5 rounds of action here. Frankie Edgar, almost 40 years old, and he got the win. But let's see. A lot of controversy. Not a lot of controversy, really, but divided opinions, which is perfect. This is why this was the best fight to miss for this for this situation here. So I think that about covers everything there. And, might as well just get right into it here. Let me pull up the screen share, which is important, of course. Obviously, you can follow me here, you guys. We're back. So yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about here. We'll have the scores as they come, and then we will look at MMA decisions afterward. See, what other people scored, as well as the stats. See if it all shakes out, because it's really, the point of this show is kind of, well, obviously to see how things check out with the different rule sets over time, because, I was looking at fights that were older than like 10 years, before like 2009 when I became a fan for the first 8 episodes and all that. So, when you're watching it live, you don't really get that luxury of, I don't know what I was going to say with that, but, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm losing my thought there, but there's more to, you can relax a little bit, I guess. You're not as, oh, damn, I don't know if it's coming. In this case, I know it's a decision. I know that every time it's a decision, we're going to see if that decision was fair. That's kind of what I was getting at. So let's hop right into it. So, Pedro Munhoz, Frankie Edgar, incredible. I will say that this is probably like Frankie's most real weight cut that he's had to do in his whole career. Right? I would imagine, because he looks totally fit and fine. Like, probably wasn't much of a problem. So yeah, here we go. Pedro Munhoz, first fight since that Sterling loss, I believe that this is. So yeah, they come out here. Pedro gets him back pretty quick, but Frankie's so quick. And oh, there's that leg kick early. Pedro Munhoz has pretty underrated leg kicks, but he fell down on that one. I'm gonna have a feeling that this is probably gonna be a pretty fast fight. Oh, and wow, very good one there. Chopped Frankie down. Only a second one, got him off balance. And went for a third as Frankie follows with a combo up top. This did earn fight of the night, so that's exciting. I like that. Like to know that. And Pedro looking for those leg kicks really early so far. You know, a pretty underrated leg kicker. I mean, we saw him destroy Brett Johns' legs in their fight from a couple years ago. And Pedro, just like, what can't this guy do? You know, just another leg kick as Frankie goes up top. You know, very well-rounded skill set. You know, obviously known for his guillotine and submissions, but had some trading there. Punches as he goes back to the leg. Yeah, just dangerous everywhere, as we've seen him knock out Cody Garbrandt and, you know, who else. So Frankie backed up here now, eats a right. It's a good right there from Pedro. Jab from Pedro. Okay, apparently, I guess John was looking at Edgar's, but that was a pretty clear. That's also the funny thing about the show, you guys. For the first-time viewers, the funny thing about First Fight Views, I've noticed a lot more about how the commentary, either they're focusing on something else, they're focusing on a specific person a lot more than what I end up seeing, or another good leg kick there from Pedro as he goes for some big punches to follow it up, or they just miss it. Like, they just think that something landed when it totally didn't. Like, yeah, with that jab that Annex said there for Frankie, as Frankie goes for a right over the guard there. It didn't look too good. A little bit of an eye poker there from Frankie. Yeah, Pedro definitely landed the jab as opposed to Frankie's. Good little left overhand from Pedro. He's landing a lot cleaner so far here through the first half. And 6 leg kicks on the stats, apparently. He's chopping, yeah. But abandoning. Okay, right when I say it, he goes down low again. And Frankie fires one back. Oh, that was very nice. Good left. Good jab from Pedro, which followed with a right. Frankie's just kind of going for those in your face, keep busy kind of volume combinations. You know, the 1-2s. Just a kind of some vintage Frankie we're seeing here, but he's not landing too well. And good right straight from Pedro. He's definitely doing more damage here in this first round. Just connecting a lot nicer with better shots. Yeah, I mean, Pedro's following him definitely. But yeah, cutting the distance off there with those leg kicks makes it harder for Frankie to circle, obviously. So yeah, this is gonna be, I think I've only done another good leg kick from Pedro. I mean, just chopping away. I think this is only the second, maybe the second or third fight that I've done that was under the new rules, because obviously they were older, like I said. Another good 1-2 there from Pedro and a leg kick. Just having his way, I'd say. I mean, Frankie isn't like getting dominated, but he's clearly getting outstruck here in effectiveness in terms. Oh, another good jab from Pedro. Looking sharp. But yeah, a new rules fight compared to usually we're doing old rules fights here. And episode 8 was actually global rules set for the whole thing with the Pride one. Had to go a little different on that one, which was a very fun episode. You can check that out if you missed it. Which, let's be honest, you probably did. You probably did, right? Why would you watch that one? But a good little Edgar lands a punch there through the combination. A left hand. Oh, Pedro's just on him, though. Really keeping him backed up. Lands with the left of his own. Really, it's kind of just been a boxing match with leg kick stone. And good combo there for Frankie to close it after taking a leg kick. Undeniable, though. That was definitely a 10-9 Munhoz. I don't think there's any debate about that. Very nice. So obviously way too early to say, but if I end up thinking this is a robbery, that'll be very surprising, because I haven't seen any robbery claims on Twitter or anything, which is very surprising because close fights are all robberies these days, according to the Twitters. So you know. So I guess then technically, yeah, it was a robbery either way, right? I don't know. I don't know. Can't we just enjoy the fights for what they are? Is that so much to ask for? Okay, so interesting. The stats say 23 significance for each in that first round. See, okay, so this, here, I'm going to do a quick pause. Quick pause. As much as I don't usually do that during the show, but I've talked about this earlier in other episodes as well. But that's another thing right there that comes down to what exactly is significant. That's why I fucking can't, I just can't do it with significant strikes. I got to look at the total strikes because who's judging the significance there? If they each landed the same amount, then that would have been a dead even round. Pedro Munhoz pretty clearly had much more significant strikes done in terms of who was more effective and damaging. But apparently the stats say otherwise, according to whoever's tallying them. I do not like significant strikes. So interested to see what the totals were for round one at the end of this. So, all right, just had to get that out of the way because it's one of my little MMA pet peeves these days, especially when it comes to scoring and stats. So let's continue on with round two, or get it started, I should say. Oh, Pedro coming out right away, trying to get back. Oh, Frankie kind of fakes in a double leg there. Oh, okay, caught Pedro behind the ear with a right hand. Guys are really making me work with the play-by-play, moving a lot, throwing a lot. All right, fakes. He goes for the single, but gives it up quickly, does Frankie. Oh, looks like Pedro maybe bleeding a tiny bit from that eye. I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe, I mean, Frankie has landed solidly here. Pedro connects again on that overhand right. Staying backed up is the answer. Ducks out nicely under a big overhand from Pedro. Got to get back to those leg kicks, man. He wanted it right there. He wanted it, but no. Goes for the jab again. Very odd cut. It looks like a small one, but leaking a lot. And Frankie. Oh, Frankie taking some big rights, and then Pedro drops to his knee, which looks like he was off balance there. Goes for the leg kick, but whips on it, does Munhoz. A lot of action happening here. It's making me work for this one. Come on, guys. You got to give me a breather. Give me a breather. Pedro throws a front kick up top, but doesn't really get through there. Belt throwing, whiffing. Oh, Frankie does a nice 1-2 that lands. Pedro seeking a bit here. It's funny because, oh, Frankie hits the takedown there. Pedro could not quite wrap up the neck. He gets right up, though, and belly to back. Nothing. Slips on out. Interesting sequence. So, see, that didn't really score because new rules that didn't score because Frankie did nothing with that. Big left there from Pedro, though. Connects nicely. I was going to say something. I was going to say I really am not a fan of play-by-play type things, especially in writing or doing it like this because it probably doesn't sound that great, but I have to do it. It's not that great to listen to, I don't think, but for this kind of thing, you're kind of just pointing out what's doing well. Like there's a good jab from Pedro. Finger warning from Herb. Interesting. Good little sneaky uppercut there from Frankie. But you have to note these things because it's about who's scoring points, right? So, just how it goes. Just how it goes. And, oh, good. A spinning back kick to the body from Edgar. Interesting as Pedro goes low again. Oh, another. Well, that wasn't quite a takedown, but he got him off balance. I try to add in some witty banter as well. Keep it entertaining is what I was getting at there. Pedro's surging a bit more. Frankie's moving a lot better in this round. I think we're seeing Pedro abandon the leg kicks. I mean, he's thrown like one or two so far, but didn't land them. And we're coming up on a minute 10 here. There, okay, right when I'm talking about it, he gets back at it. That one kind of grazes, not as clean as some of those in the first round. But fake little Superman punch there from Frankie. And Pedro is very bloody. But again, like I said, it's a tiny looking little cut. And Frankie sneaks on some punches there underneath. The 1-2 again. He loves going for the 1-2. Pedro seeking with the jab. A lot closer of a round. Frankie's gotten some off balance moments for Pedro, whether it was with an actual takedown or kind of just knocking him off by going for it, then giving it up. I mean, Pedro's wearing the damage here, but still doing solid. On the old rules, though, that takedown was a good score. Good scorer, so that's something to note for sure. Oh, leg kick that was apparently a nut shot, and then flying knee kind of gets through for Pedro right at the end there. So that was a tough one to score, and this is one of those rounds I think where Octagon control can get deceiving because Pedro was pretty much walking him down the entire time, like the like the first round, but it wasn't really too much for Frankie in comparison. So the lack of leg kicks were a big deal. So old rules that I think is pretty clearly an Edgar round. Pretty close with the new rules though. Let's see some highlights here. Which is that cheating, you guys, to go by the highlights? I've done it before in the other episodes, but yeah, Frankie did land some good ones. I mean, yeah, the uppercut, I remember that, of course. It just happened. That's like one of the best pictures from the fight. Yeah, that was a Frankie round. Both rules. Definitely the old, new, fairly close, but yeah, he rallied back pretty good there. So here, let's scroll down to round 3. Frankie's uppercut, says Mr. Cruz. And there's the leg kick to a jab. That was a really nice start there for Pedro. Very solid. Ooh, and that jab again. A shout out to Scott Fontana getting on there. Everybody says it's tied up. 10-9 and Edgar in the second. All right. So this isn't it. Here, let me pause real quick there as no, I shouldn't do that. I'll continue on. But Frankie eats a good left there from Pedro once again. Jab on point. An interesting thing about me watching this fight is I can see other people's opinions from it being live. Never had that before because I'm not usually having first fight views unless I'm actually watching the whole events. You know what I mean? So this is a rare occasion, everybody. We're making history here on the FFV series. So good fun. And I saw that they pulled up the stats really quickly there. I kind of missed it, but Edgar was ahead. I think it was like 23 to 14, 13-ish on significance, I'm assuming. Once again, good body kick there that's blocked partially from Munhoz. Overhand connects kind of the back of the head for Munhoz. And yeah, his face is looking a lot more damaged, which is really interesting because of, his punches have been, I mean, the first round, and then he ate it in the second round a good bit, obviously. Throwing some front kicks here now, just kind of feeling distance. Frankie going for overhand right there. Doesn't quite connect, and nothing there. Pedro's jab has looked very nice all night long. Frankie teasing out jab of his own. Pedro gets back on it. Pace is slowed a bit here, but, they're still fast. Bantamweights. And the leg kicks back for Munhoz. consecutively. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, fucking that jab, dude. Solid. Oh, and then Frankie connects through with the left. All right, things heating up here. That was very nice. A very nice exchange. But those leg kicks have been the equalizer, or not the equalizer, but the big X factor here for Munhoz. He's got to get back to him because they worked out so well in the first round, obviously. But Frankie circling the left really takes that away. And then he goes right. The second he stops going left, Pedro lands one there again. Oh, good body shot there from Frankie. And he's backed up again. This has kind of been the story throughout these first 3 rounds here. Where Pedro's got the Octagon control. Doesn't matter. But I'm just saying. Man, you know, that's a blinding thing for some people. But game plan wise and how the fight's going, that is a thing to mention. Scoring doesn't matter. It doesn't matter though. And Pedro getting back to the leg kicks, lands another one there, goes for the jab. Frankie follows it with the left hook of his own, but not quite connecting. Oh, good jab again from Munhoz. He's just putting it on. And then left hook there finds a home for Munhoz as Frankie tries to come in on his own. Lots of volume from, ooh, that leg kick again from Pedro. Frankie goes with the 2-punch combo, ending it with a head kick this time, but doesn't quite get through. Leg kick again for Pedro with the jab. Those are the 2 strikes, his primary go-getters here. Yeah. He's not getting too crazy whatsoever. I mean, Pedro was getting he was more wild early on, but that was working for him too. But he was mixing in the leg kicks, and he's getting back at it here, which 30 seconds left in this round, and let's say that it is his round unless something crazy happens here. Gets the jab blocked there very nicely from Frankie. Whiffs on a right straight, does Munhoz. Frankie goes for the overhand, does not connect. Oh, that spinning back kick to the body again for Frankie. Not as clean as the first one, but it touched him. You know. Very fun first 3, though. But the Brazilian, I think, definitely. He's getting back to those leg kicks, which, big deal. Big deal. So, Frankie Edgar, I mean, not looking bad at bantamweight, hanging in with a top guy. But you know, just he's pretty much the same, right? Like, he looks good, yeah, but I mean, Frankie's always looks good unless he's fighting like Max Holloway or, you know, Jose, those guys, you know what I mean? But he's not too different of a fighter is what I'm getting at. And doesn't really wrestle too much anymore, depending on who it's against, I guess. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to risk it heavily here against Pedro Munhoz, and we have seen that he has not decided to play around there. So I don't know. No, instantly, Pedro takes the center once again, and there's a chopping leg kick, and he gets taken down this time. See, that's kind of the danger, is Frankie timing it, but quick. Nope, no points there for Frankie on the new rules. Good right. And just Pedro keeping that control consistently. Oh, I got a like on photo. Thank you. I wonder if you guys can see that, but on Instagram. That's good fun. Let's see. Oh, okay. They both landed jabs there. Frankie. Oh, damn. Big combo there for Munhoz, left and right. And then the jab. Frankie's got a lot of feints and a lot of volume. It's kind of, always been one of his things, always active, always very active. Cardio for days. Seen it here again, just not landing at the same rate or as hard. He's never been a knockout artist or a power puncher. Yes, he has knockouts, of course. Chad Mendes, Gray Maynard. Obviously, those are the big ones, but it's not. He's not. He doesn't have a whole shitload of highlight reels or anything. Oh, good double jab there from Frankie to counter or to follow up Pedro's jab. Beautiful jabs in this fight. Let's just put it that way. Ooh, good right there from Frankie. Pedro with the jab again. Another jab from Pedro. Frankie misses on that one. That combination of 1-2 again. He lands one jab as he goes for the second one, misses the second one, but one's better than none. Oh, he ate some. Frankie ate a big right there from Pedro. There's the leg kick again. This fight is kind of stressing me out doing this show for because there's so much happening. It might be the most active fight that I've had to do this for so far. Pedro goes for a body kick that was a very high body kick, kind of chest, and misses. Frankie goes with the right straight through the middle, but not quite. Both kind of landed there. Pedro definitely landed the overhand. Frankie gets him a bit with his own right. Jab from Pedro. This pine out there as Edgar started his combos. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Cruz calling it as I'm seeing it as well. No surprise. It's the GOAT out here. What you gonna do? Jab from Pedro. Double jab. There's the leg kick again. Jabby jab. Frankie going for the left hook, right hook. But blocked mostly. Pedro's been blocking very well for the most part, even though he's got some cuts on him. It's mostly from like the second round, and then it's getting touched up every now and again. But he's blocking pretty well. Interesting combination and duck there from Frankie. Very nice jab. Oh, quick right hand there from Pedro. Don't think it quite was too clean. Back to the leg kick as Frankie comes in with that 1-2 again. Pedro randomly looking for those body kicks, but not much commitment behind him. He's just kind of putting them out there, making Frankie think. Leg kick again. Oh, that was interesting. Jab from Pedro. Jab again. Most consistent weapon, obviously. Best weapon, the leg kicks, but most consistent has been that jab. And then there's a good right hand for Pedro. Frankie trying to sneak his way in. Nothing. Oh, there's the leg kick that got Frankie a bit off balance there. Good one low. Comes in with the knee as Pedro that time, but no good. Good jab from Frankie. There's that spinning back kick again at the end of the round. That must be something he's kind of obviously thought of. I don't think that one landed at all. That was a bad angle, but it didn't look very good. Good right hand from Pedro. Competitive fight, obviously, but I just feel like Pedro is doing. He's just doing a bit more and more effective. That's the key word, right? More damage. In terms of visual damage, Frankie's getting there now as we're headed to the 5th. Oh, no, not that. And I know that that's always a thing that people will be mentioning, like, oh, look at how busted up he is, though. Like GSP versus Johnny, for example. But GSP is kind of a banana face. Bananas bruise easily. They don't cut as easily as they bruise. So maybe that's not a good one, but it's the best I got. All right, give me a break, you guys. Give me a break. I haven't done this in a while. I don't even remember when episode 8 was. A couple months ago. But Pedro is looking a little puffy, a little swollen, as is Mr. Edgar. Starting out right there with jab. And Mr. Adam Martin, shout out to him as well. He's always on every broadcast. The UFC guys love him. He has a 3-1 for Munhoz, as do I. And Sean Sheehan, shout out to him. Yep, he's pretty much saying the same thing. He's obviously well informed. If you guys know who Sean is, a good leg kick there from Pedro to counter Frankie, who was coming in. Leg kicks again. So yeah, shout out. See, I can give more shout outs now in this rare occurrence of missing a close fight. So, not like everybody watches or anything, and why would they? You know, I'm just watching. I'm just watching for the first time. It's first fight view, baby. That's what we're doing here. You guys, those guys have seen the fight already. Obviously, they were watching it when it happened. Why would they watch it here again with me? I would appreciate it though, guys. So Pedro looking for the jab again. Let's get back to the action. Right hand. Oh, Frankie landed a good left hook there in tight. Talking about Frankie's leg giving out as it had done. Frankie reaching, searching for that left hook, but he misses. Frankie with a good right straight there on an exit. And he's getting off the cage a lot better so far in this round. And right when I say that, Pedro backs him up. So funny how that happens. Oh, and Frankie gets through with a good right. Body kick. And kind of a teep there from Pedro, it was. And Frankie Pine there and goes for a spinning back fist. It does not land. Does not land. Blocked nicely, but it looked good. Good form, good technique, but didn't land for Frankie. Good overhand right there from Frankie, though, does land. Pedro getting a bit aggressive. Teep as he goes for some punches, but really only the teep got through. Ducking under does Pedro. Nothing too significant there at all. Frankie Pon with that left gets through. Oh, there we go. Good 1-2. Left hook, right hook there from Frankie, and obviously that's not a 1-2 in terms of actual techniques, but 1-2 punches. 1-2. Pedro with the leg kick again, but not too hard of one as Frankie was circling away to the left. We got 2:05 on the clock here now. And Frankie doing good so far as he eats a jab. Goes for that uppercut, which did not land to the chest, it looked like. Good teep from Pedro. Back and forth. These guys are moving just as fast as they were earlier on in the fight. Still a quick pace. They traded jabs there too just a second ago. Oh, Pedro landed a good hook there as Frankie also did. And then Frankie ate another one. Kind of pushed him back. Oh, good right hand there again. Down the pipe from Pedro. Coming back here a bit late. Good jab. Knocks the head from Pedro. To the forehead there. And the leg kick from Pedro. Frankie searching with the left straight. But just Pine out there, not quite. Oh, good right straight from Frankie. Knocks him off balance, but he's right back on it. Wasn't a huge thing, but definitely notable. Another good leg kick from Pedro. He's trying to get in there with that. Get back at it. Ooh, Frankie lands it right down the middle there. Very nice. And Pedro just not defending as well here in the fifth. He's hanging in there, obviously, and backing Frankie up, but just not blocking as nicely as he was earlier. So, can't be perfect the whole fight, you know? As he goes for the overhand there, overhand right from Pedro, but Frankie blocks that one. Ooh, Frankie's really good at ducking. Like, after he sees the combos coming, like he knows the first punch and second one's obviously, as he eats one, a right hook. But I was saying he was good at ducking under the combo there, the final combo punch. So yeah, that was quite a good fight and very high pace. That was a pretty close round. That might have been the closest round in my opinion. I mean, round 2 was pretty close. But that one, I think that Frankie just got oh, no. Was just a bit more damaging there. Obviously, he got the wobble on Pedro a bit late. But seemed pretty, I mean, it was a close and competitive fight throughout, but it seemed pretty clear cut to me. And, I've said it before. I think that you can have close fights with clear winners. I think that's absolutely a thing, and that's because of the scoring, how the scoring is, and that's kind of, I don't think that Holloway and Volkanovski 2 would count as that, as a close but clear fight, but Holloway Poirier 2, I think that's probably a good example of a close but clear fight, right? Like Max was able to come back pretty good after really getting destroyed in that first round. He made it close after that, but Poirier obviously won. Like there's no debate about it. But competitive throughout. The guy was in and came back and won rounds and all that. So that's probably a good example, I would say. So we got the same for everything here. 48-47 for the young Punisher. And then on the global rule set, yeah, I mean, Munhoz, obviously. This was more effective and closer to finishing, I think, overall. Okay. Okay, I was waiting for a 49, and I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about a 49, but no, we're okay. We're okay on that part. Madness. Frankie Edgar at Bantamweight, almost 40 years old, looks not 40. Don't think he won, but very close. Yeah. So we don't need this stream on anymore. Limping a bit because that leg got pounded on. Definitely did. But congratulations to him. You can't feel bad for Frankie Edgar. Come on. I mean, I guess you can. There's, everyone has their reasons to not like somebody, and he might have been anti-vax at a point, if I remember, but it's a different debate, different topic for a different day. So let's look at the actual scoring here from the judges. Derek Cleary, we'll start out with him. So 1, 2, he scored it for Frankie coming down to the third round, right? And I know I just watched it, but it's like, right, it's easier to visualize, right? So the third round, I mean, I don't know about that. And then instead, we have Eric Colon here, who, all right, let's look at common rounds if we can do that. So D'Amato and Cleary both agreed with the first round. Dude, okay. Well, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that Frankie should have got the first round. Sorry, I don't agree with that whatsoever. No. Second round. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Obviously, third round. Again, it's Munhoz right there. 4, 5. And then Sal D'Amato gave the fifth to Munhoz, which, like I said, very close one, but oh, he did 49? I didn't hear that? But he gave it for Munhoz. Okay. That's more reasonable. I thought I was going to say if that was for Edgar, that's pretty insane. But yeah, okay. Okay, interesting. Definitely interesting. We only got 4 media members here who thought it was for Frankie. No 50s, which is nice to see because, you know, like I said, seemed pretty cut and dry for the most part. Obviously, you know, people make the robbery claims, of course. And you know, as I gave 3 cards here just now and don't think it was a robbery, you're like, what? How's that not? It makes sense. It just is what it is. I was about to look at the comments, but you always gotta be careful on those bad boys. Here, let's look at the fan results though before we get to the stats. Oh, interesting. Edgar 48-47 by most totals here. So Munoz round 1. I really don't see how Frankie could have won that one. Round 2, very much in favor of Frankie on the votes. How many votes we got here? Probably a good amount because of close decision, 461. Then round 3, Munoz, pretty clear. Here, round 5 was the closest here, percentage wise, which, yeah, like I was saying, round 4 still. And then you look at this and 2 and 5 for Edgar, which is what I agreed with. Yeah, seemed pretty fine. And then 54% for Munoz. Close. It was close, obviously. What is this? Brazil? It's not showing? Yeah, it is Brazil. That's always kind of a funny thing, though, isn't it? The favoritism from the countries, because that's very obviously a thing if you look at pretty much any scorecard. So, yeah. Let's look at the stats, shall we? The fun part, the interesting part. The most interesting man in the world. Okay. All right. So they got it wrong initially for round 1, like I mentioned. Not 23-23, 30-29 on significance. And it says totals, though. That says totals. All right. See, I'm fine with that then. But then it's like, what's the point of the significance? Oh, he missed 34 of those significance. He didn't land the significant strike. It would have been, though, if it landed. How do you know? If it didn't land, how do you know if it was going to be significant? That's all you need to ask when it comes to that stat. If it didn't land, how do you know if it was significant or not? Just think about that. That's all you need. You don't even need the answer. You just need the question. And you're like, oh, hold on. And if I'm wrong, please share your thoughts, you guys. But it's fucking goofy. But anyway, this is funny. This is funny now as we look on here because fucking literally all of these are the same. The totals and significance are the same, which I don't think I've ever seen that. I do not think I've ever seen them do that before. That makes me want to look at like a different one because usually they're different. Usually it's like half of them. Like here, let's see if I can go to, I'll just go to Frankie's last fight real quick. If this doesn't slow me down here. Okay, maybe this wasn't a good choice because there weren't that many strikes in this one. But yeah, see, okay. So Korean Zombie here for his last fight. What they said. No, what am I doing? 79 total strikes, but 46 of them. And then Frankie's were all. So just that was kind of a pointless example or something to look at, but yeah, pretty rarely do they say that every single strike thrown in that fight was apparently significant to them, which you know, I'm happy they did it this way. I'm just poking holes at the significant part again. So yeah, count them all as significant because there's only one person, 2 people in there who can judge how significant something was. And, you know, visually we can see it too. But saying you missed one, that drives me insane. So, yeah. All right. that was that. That was a good fight. Very fun fight for, Frankie's debut at Bantamweight. Long time coming. We knew he could get there eventually. We knew it was coming. Supposed to be against Corey Sandhagen, which that's an interesting matchup. I'd still be down to see that one next. Will it happen? Why not? I've seen people say Dominic Cruz. I would love any Dominic Cruz fight. Obviously, that's kind of a bit of a dream fantasy fight for a while. You think about former champions going at it and the way that they do fight, but I don't know. Frankie would have to. It's good. There's so many options at bantamweight. That's pretty much the thing is like, it's one of those things where you cannot go wrong. It's like strawweight. It's like welterweight. There's just unlimited potential with these divisions. So you love it, no matter the outcomes. Even if Frankie lost, it's like you could still fight Dominic or maybe not Sandhagen, but yeah, options are out there. And Aldo's still in the mix. You got to think maybe not the mix of like the top or anything, but of people that could fight. Like Munhoz could fight him next. That would be really fun. Something like that. So yeah, obviously we'll talk about that more as time goes on, but let's wrap it up, you guys. Good episode. Good to do this again. The first 5 views probably going to go back on the shelf because this was just a special situation. I'm not usually one to miss fights, of course, unless for special occasions, such as my homies who are getting married, which is very exciting for them. So we will leave it at that, you guys. You can follow me at Drake Riggs _ of course, and you can follow along with my MA news. See everything's being posted there. Plenty of great content. Obviously that's where a lot of my stuff goes. And of course, just recently, the big kibosh, as Michael Chavello would say, Becoming Mega Megu, the Megumi Fuji story. Please check that out if you have not yet. It's my magnum opus. Is that, I'm not sure of the definition. I'll have to look up of that, but my biggest story yet, bar none. A 4-chapter deep dive into the life and career of, one of the greatest fighters of all time, who many don't know about, especially modern day, especially fans these days. So please check that out. Share it, all that stuff. I'm not one to beg. I literally never do it, and I should probably do it more, but it just feels wrong. But for this one, I have to because it was a very big and important project. So you can check that out, you guys. It's on my MMA news, of course. You can follow my YouTube channel, which we're on right now, and all the other stuff that I'm doing, which is plenty, and got things in the works, of course. So, and the WMA Today podcast, which is every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. if you like specifically to know what's happening with the ladies. News breakdowns, previews of every event and whatnot. So yes, with Mr. Stephen King, not the author, not the horror author, MMA author, yes, but not horror films and books and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm going off here. I'm going off, but thank you guys so much for tuning into First Fight View episode 9. Hope you enjoyed the fight. What's next for Pedro and Frankie? Let me know in the comments below. All that stuff. Like, subscribe. I'll get out of here now. Thanks for tuning in, and see ya when I see ya.